Oh, hello everyone. Hello, Debbie. We are
Hello,
live.
Ken. Welcome to a very, very strange conversation. Getting out of debt. What is debt?
So before this live got started and we were chatting, and then I mentioned that I was in debt before, and then you said you have a story that you want to tell
Oh,
about
well.
that.
First of all, welcome everyone to Getting Out of Debt Joyfully. For those of you who know us, yes, we are both pretty wealthy now, but we weren't born rich and we all have our stories of debt. And I think you don't know my credit card story, Ryan?
Oh, I've never heard about this.
Well, when I was poor, when I was young, I didn't grow up with money, and my point of view is that my way out of poverty is through education. So I went to law school. Um, but at law school, I mean, it was for free to study in Austria, but you needed money to live. So I found out when you open up a bank account as a student, student's bank account, you could get a credit card. Um, I think it was, how much was it? $1,500 that you could spend every month. So I got my credit card, of course. I started spending the money and then I had to pay back the credit card. And one time I didn't have the money because I was only working during the summer when there was vacation from university. So I went to another bank and opened up another student's account, got another credit card. So the one credit card was $1,500 in debt. I went to the took the other credit card, took a cash withdrawal of 1,500, put it on the first bank account so the other credit card could be paid. Then, when the second credit card was due for payment, I went back to the first one, picked up the 1,500 and put it on the other bank accounts. I just played ping pong. Using one credit card to pay off the other one, but there was always like a $50, $60 fee for cash withdrawal. And I knew I somehow knew it won't work, but I also knew I have a job. There's 3 months of summer vacation. I will work my ass off to pay it back. Um, so I didn't really consider it that. I looked at it as a fun game. Other people go and play ping pong. I go credit card, credit card. And I literally did this 4 years. And every summer I worked at the airport in Vienna and paid both credit cards off. And then I used them to somehow survive the winter to work it off next summer. Um, Waiting for this game to be over when I finally graduate from law school and then get rich as a lawyer. That was my idea.
And did your plan work?
Oh, well, there was a very embarrassing moment at the end of that because these two banks merged a few years later, and I got a phone call from the new account manager. She called me and I was like, "Damn it. Now I will end up in jail. I will not be able to finish my laws. They will find out about the big scam I was doing with the credit cards." But that was exactly when I graduated from law school. And she called me and said, "Yeah, we found out you have these two credit cards and we have to merge everything now." And then I said, but you graduated, right? If you start your doctorate, you actually get two credit cards with $5,000 each. I said, "Sure, why not?" Yeah, very interesting. This is how they try to, they try to create a relationship with the bank because they had the point of view, once you are a doctor of law, you will be very rich, and then they want you to stay a
Mhm.
client with the bank. Um, so yeah, somehow it all worked out.
Yeah,
So what's
this is like the threat of this reality. Like the bank, they will offer you things like this, and then a lot of people they think they can like take advantage of that, and then so they end up in debt and further into debts. So
I know, and a lot of people think that that is bad and that is horrible. I just didn't give a shit. I was like, you know what? This is just temporarily. This is just temporary. I won't stick around in poverty my entire life. I literally used it to create the life I want and to move on. So for me, that was never something heavy. I didn't even notice it. I didn't even look at it as that. I really looked at it as a step into the future, a step into my next life. So don't listen to me when it comes to credit cards. I was insane. Don't copy this. It's just my insane story how I managed to survive as a poor student.
you wanted to ask me something just now? Like, what's my
Well,
story?
what is
Or
your story? You were in debt. I thought you were just poor, but that you had debt, I didn't know that. So what is your story
no,
of debt?
I was in debt for years. So when I found access, I was in debt, and I was like desperately needed to like solve my money problem. And I remember, so I attended so many classes about money, and one of them it was about getting out of debt. At that time, maybe 12 years, 13 years ago, when Simone did it, when maybe her first time, I'm not so sure. Um, so or maybe it was a different class. But I remember it was facilitated by Simone and about that, but maybe not this same title. And I remember at that time I got one big realization that the debt it was my choice. I know this makes no sense to your mind, like who would choose to be in debt? Because I was
Well,
acting
I
like a
did.
victim,
Well,
like
I did.
uh, uh,
But go on.
yeah, no, because at that time I was like acting like a victim, like I couldn't change my money problem. I'm so unlucky or whatever. And then when I attended the tele class with Simone, it was like a series of maybe 6 calls, like over 6 weeks. Yeah, it was 6 calls over 6 weeks. And then halfway through, and then I was like looking at my financial reality and asking myself question, and then I was like, huh, okay, this is actually a choice. I actually have skills that could make money. So before I found Access, I was uh, a software developer for mm, maybe 10 years or something like that. So I was like, okay, I have skills with computer. I know how to fix things. I know how to create website. I know how to create software. Or even if I don't do that, I am multilingual. I speak a few different languages. I can like do translation work. I can do this. I can do this. I'm like, with all these skills that I have, I end up in debt. This is definitely not like the world is treating me unfairly. It's my choice. So that gave me the awareness. I'm like, all right, so enough of this. I need to change this. And so when I make a different choice to get myself out of debt, and by well, it's not just one choice, but it's also when I started to be more committed to my own life, then I finally create money and get myself out of debt and start to create my life. So that's my story, a quick summary of my story.
Yeah, but I think that is beautiful because it is a choice to be in debt, and it's also a choice to look at that as something wrong, as something bad. For me, honestly, for me, it was just an amount of money that I need to pay off over time pretty soon. But I was never doubting that I could not do it. It was for me, it was always just a matter of time. Um, and this is how I still function today from debt. What I think is required, and I think this is one of the tools of the getting out of debt joyfully book, having financial awareness, need to know how much you have to create. So I always knew exactly how much I had on each credit card because I need to go to the bank at the right day, at the right moment to pick it up, so it couldn't overlap. So I had back then you would call it financial awareness of how much money do I need to create and how much does it cost me to run my life. And this is what I still do today. Not as detailed as you do, Ryan. I don't have an Excel sheet, but I know
Mhm.
more or less. Oh, this is what I desire in life. This is what life costs me. So I need to make sure I create enough income so that the money I make can support the lifestyle I desire to have. So that's a great tool. And you probably need to sit down and look at all your expenses, but not only just the expenses, add the things you like to do as well. So if you want to go to more access classes, you want to go on a vacation twice a year, like skiing or to the beach, or if you want to buy a car this year, or if you want to move to a more expensive apartment, put all the money that you will require for a life that you consider a cool life. Wow, that's worth living. That really is fun for me. And then you know how much you need to create, and then it's just a matter of choice. At least you know how much you need to create, and then you can start asking questions, and then you can start asking the universe to support you, and then you can also find out, okay, do I need to add another job? Do I need to start giving private sessions? What would it take to create that amount of money? That is where the creativity kicks in. And then, honestly, it will just be a matter of time until you make enough money to support it. Um, People that I know, Ryan, you are a master example of that with your Elugar investment when you just started paying. And then surprisingly, a few years later, we both found out, oh, Ryan is a millionaire. um, Everyone I know, it works. Have financial awareness and clarity, how much you require, desire, and then just get to work. Um, Brilliant tool that I would definitely add to my repertoire, um, if I had the desire to change my financial reality.
Yeah, and so having the clarity about how much you need, this is actually what I did. I still remember. So at that time, I started to calculate, like put everything in, like how much I spend on, like let's say on food, rental, to pay for the internet bill and everything. I remember the first time after I list down everything in my Excel sheet, and I look at it, I was shocked. I was like, shit, I don't think I can ever make that much money.
You're so cute.
So so I have to use all the tools that I have, like to poke and pot my panic, my point of view that I couldn't pay it off, and then start asking for more money to come. So after I finally start to have the willingness to have financial clarity instead of just avoiding it. So previously I was avoiding it. I was panicked whenever the bank sent me the credit card statement. I was like, my God.
Yeah, I know that.
So I was avoiding. I didn't even want to open the letter from the bank because in my mind I had the point of view that I couldn't pay it off. Why would I even want to look at it? So I was doing that much avoidance. And eventually they sent me the letter in red envelope.
Gaslighting.
And I was like, oh shit, okay, I need to open it. And I look at it, I'm like, okay. So as I said, so finally I had the willingness to have clarity about how much I need, including all the classes that I wanted to attend. So I start to ask for money to come and support that, support the lifestyle I desire. And of course, with many other tools like put 10% away and things like that. So eventually I create money and that money to take care of me. So one of the questions that I remember that I asked at that time is like, for money to come and take care of me. So this is a question that even until today I still use. So it's not that it's like only have money and then to pay off all my expenses or the bills. It's like, hey, money, what will it take for you to take care of me? See, it brings me
Nice.
joy when I ask this question.
Yeah, you can also ask money to support your choices. The original idea of money was to make trading easier. So the energetic vibration of money is, hey, how can I make your life easier? This is how you pull money in. Ask it to make your life easier, and receive it. Have no point of view how it comes to you, from whom it comes to you, when it comes to you, and in what form it comes to you. When people gift you something, you are making money. When your grandparents or your husband or your wife give you money, um, all of that is money. Money has no point of view. A lot of times people refuse receiving money from their parents or from their spouse or from the family because they think they have to create it on their own. Otherwise, they won't make it. It has no value if I haven't worked for it. Who are you? Why do you do this drama? Money has no point of view. If your grandmother gives you $10,000, I would say, amazing creation, wonderful. So receive it. Receive it from all dimensions and directions with no point of view, just incredible gratitude for wow, money come, money come, money come. And it will.
So do you have your favorite question that you ask for money to come?
Well, I always ask for always having more money coming in than I can ever spend. This is how I challenge myself. And in one way or the other, it always works because since I started using the tools for access, I'm actually enjoying my life and not torturing me and working hard and being worried about money anymore. That joyful living, I truly instituted it shamelessly using the tools and also knowing that money will always be there in one way or the other. And if not in a way that I want, I know it's just temporary.
So do you always have this awareness that you will always have the money?
Yes, always. Always. I mean, there's
So even
always enough
even when
air
you
to
were even when you were the poor student, you still have this awareness that you will
yes.
always have the money. Ah,
I did this thing with the 2 credit cards not to betray the bank. I just knew, hey, I need a little bridge loan. Don't you worry, I'll be rich. I'll pay it all back. Don't you? I had no doubt at all in my universe that I will one day end up with debt. And I don't have that doubt today. I know. It's just, it's money. Money is like breathing. Is anyone ever worried about running out of fresh air? Do we have an oxygen tank next to our bed, just in case we run out of oxygen? Because if we do, we would die. No, we don't, because we know there's always enough air. Just breathe in, breathe out. And I have to say that I am also willing to do and be whatever it takes. I'm not just a lot of people say, yes, you are a lawyer, so easy for you to make money. Well, interesting point of view. But when I was a student, I sat on an intersection of a highway counting cars for $6 an hour, 12 hours in a row, tick, 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 tick. When I didn't sit there the whole day because I found out after 2 hours that it's like an average. So I took a 4 hour nap and just, did a little forecast. But I did the shittiest fucking jobs ever because I knew it's just temporary. And when I needed the money, I got to work. I never said, "Oh no, I'm too good for this. I'm too good for that." No, when I need money and when I need to, hands on, let's get to work. So
so
it's a
you're being
combination of that.
very pragmatic and very practical.
Yes, yes, very practical, very pragmatic, and literally, I had jobs. Oh my God, you wouldn't even know that they exist. I did literally everything with no point of view because I know, hey, it's like a bridge. It's just temporary. Just get to work, get over it. Click, click, click.
Hmm.
Just like you, Ryan. I mean, it's just for all of you who listen. It is 8:20 Central European Time. Ryan is in Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur. What time is it in Kuala Lumpur?
It's 3:20 a.m. right now.
Yeah, 3:20. He got up at 2:50 just to do this live with no point of view. And after that, he'll probably go to bed because tomorrow, 8 o'clock, he starts facilitating a foundation class or something like that. He's as crazy as that.
Yes,
But
I always do this.
yeah, but you look at your smile. You have no point of view. I've never heard you complaining, "Oh, I'm so tired." Because you are not tired because your point of view doesn't even allow your body to be tired because everything you create it from the joy of facilitating. So there is another element to this, knowing money will always be there, the willingness to do and be whatever it takes. getting up at 3 o'clock for an interview. Um, Amazing. I adore you, Ryan, for that because I think this is the one thing I wouldn't do. I came back from Hong Kong this morning, 6 a.m. I was 18 hours on a plane, and now it's my 8 p.m. So this is quite challenging doing that the same day. But is it really challenging? No, because I
Different
flew
point of
first.
view, right? Ah,
I had a 9 hour sleep in a very comfortable mattress. But that's one of the benefits of having money. You literally can enjoy life, and um, you can. It's easier with money. It is easier to live a comfortable life with money, and I really really enjoy it, and very grateful for it. And I consider myself very privileged, and I want more of that. And I wish that I can invite more people to that, um, because it's just easier.
mhm. Yeah, and this is what I meant. Like, let money come and take care of you. But this is not just like a mental concept, but for those of you watching, you actually have to have the willingness to receive the contribution of money, receive the contribution from money, that money can take care of you. And if you really choose that, and also if you're willing to do whatever it takes to change your life, things will change for you.
Yeah, that was
Cool.
beautifully said. Yeah, if you truly desire it, if you truly choose it, there is no other possibility than getting there. It works. It's kind of guaranteed. That's work. That it works. That's how energy works. Money will always support you if you have the willingness to receive it and the point of view that it will support you. There's nothing more powerful and potent than your own point of view about you and your money situation and capacities and abilities. So everyone out there listening to this, just get started. Just get started.
And keep going, keep going.
Yes, and get the book and read the book. It's amazing. It's incredible set of tools, where everybody will find their way to get started. Not every tool has to be fun and joyful for you, but you will find your tool, and that's the important. Use those tools that are the most fun for you, and then enjoy them and watch your life and world changing.
Yes. And then when your world change, one day you can inspire a lot of other people.
Yes.
With your story, you can tell story like David told the
Yeah,
story just
write
now.
the next chapter
Never
of your
heard.
story. Well, thank you so much, Ryan. Thank you for getting up at 3 a.m. in the morning to be here on this conversation today. And for all of you listeners out there, enjoy receiving, start choosing, and you might consider getting out of that joyfully book and actually read it. Brilliant set of tools, world changing, and a lot of fun. So get to work. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, David.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.